Hello everyone, this is Maureen and welcome to my crochet story. Today is Sunday, March the 5th, and we are here for a little bit of my WIPS and some Sunday chat. So, before we get started, I want to tell all of you thank you so much for stopping by. I know your time is precious and it always means something to me whenever you're willing to sit back and just listen a little bit to what it is that I want to share with you. Now, I am going to say real quick, if you hear some crackling noise in the background, I have to apologize, but Lacey has a crinkle toy. And so you're liable to hear that in the background, and all I can say is, I'm sorry, but you know, sometimes you gotta give them something to play with so that they're entertained. All right, so what are we here to talk about? Let's see. Well, my WIPs in progress for number one. So let's start out with some amigurumis. So right now I am working on the new March designer for the Amigurumi Wars, and her name just slipped my mind here for a moment. Oh goodness. I will leave her name and link down in the description box for you, so that if you're interested in the Amigurumi Wars, or if you just want to check out this new designer that Anita from Y.O.H or Yarn Over Hook Crochet picked for us, then you can go check her out. She has some awesome patterns. I mean, for amigurumi. And you know what? Those of you that love to sew, a lot of her amigurumi patterns are made off of the stuffed animals that she built, and vice versa. I mean, a lot of these patterns you can find in the amigurumi, the crochet, and you can also find them in the where you just sew and stuff them and put them together. So it's kind of like a twofer there if you'd like to do both. But anyway, so this first one that I'm going to show you is her little panda bear, and you're going to see a picture of it here in just a minute. Now, I chose the panda bear because number one, I just love bears, and pandas are one of my favorite. So all I have started on it at the moment is it's a little, I'm not going to say funny, but it's a little different the way that she started out nearly every one of her patterns. This is the muzzle, and this is the little nose that's going to go on to it when she tells me to do it. I am using a 4-weight acrylic yarn on all of my amigurumis, and I use a size F hook. I can't go down any smaller than that, but I have tried only one amigurumi using a 3-weight, and I just didn't like the way it felt. Even though it was acrylic, I just didn't like the way it felt, and I don't know. I think too a lot of it had to do with the fact that I was trying to use a D and an E hook, and it just didn't work. So anyway, all of my amigurumis then turn out being much bigger than the pattern. So anyway, if you can imagine that little panda that you just saw in the picture, here's his muzzle already, and here's his nose. Here is his little ears. So you see that he's already going to be a big little panda. And we've already made the little eye patches, and I've already gone ahead and stuck in the eyes there for it. So it's all going to be all ready to go whenever it starts telling me to put it in there. So that's the first of her patterns. Now, I downloaded 5 of her patterns, and I really hope to get them all done here in the month of March. So what I decided to do is, instead of working on one of the designer's patterns at a time, I'm going to try to work on 2 at a time, and hopefully, you know, be able to get out what I downloaded to try to get done. So there is my panda bear. Now, the next thing that I downloaded, I think he's just so cute, is Mr. Pug. And here he is. isn't he just adorable, especially with the little red tie on him? I just thought he was so cute. So again, I started on him. Let's see. So again, she told us start with the muzzle. So there's the muzzle. And here is going to be his little button nose there on the top. Now, she said to do it in black. I don't know. I'm going to have to do something with that so that it stands out a little better. I mean, I know you can see it there and everything, but I've just never liked this kind of color combination. But, you know, maybe by the time I get the lighter brown and I start putting it together, maybe it'll be okay. Maybe it'll stand out enough for you to see that he's got a little black nose there on his muzzle. Now, these are going to be the ears. Aren't they cute? Because this is going to, of course, be, you know, sewed up at the top and it's supposed to flop over like the little pug's ears do. So I think that's going to be really cute. And I've got both of those already done. And then the little eye patches. And again, they're both the same. Let me see if I can get them unwound here. Maybe not. And they called for really big eyes as well. So I'm kind of keeping myself in pace because her patterns basically follow the same thing. Do the muzzles, do the ears, do the eyes, and then you'll start with the legs and you'll build up. And the nice thing is that what I've seen so far, the body and the heads are all made together. And I really like that because, number one, I don't have to, you know, attach them together and have a wonky neck there and try to cover it up or strengthen it up somehow. So those are the two that I have started with her. And like I said, I've got 3 more that I downloaded. And like I said, I hope to get 5 of them done this month. Now, I told you last week that I was going to get started on the panda pattern that I found. And I'm going to remind you of it here in just a minute. Isn't he cute? Oh my goodness. So, remember I told you a minute ago that I use 4-weight yarn and an F hook. Now, this panda is only supposed to be, if you use fingering yarn, which is what she says to use, about 10 inches tall. Well, let me show you. I've only started on the head because she started with the muzzle and the nose part and then the muzzle, and then from the muzzle you start working on the head. Well, guys, here's the head so far. This is a 4.5 diameter, 4.5 inch diameter head, which means from here to here it's 4.5 inches. He is going to be one big polar bear. Oh my goodness. When I started building on his head, it wasn't just till a little bit ago that before I started filming, I was like, oh my word, he's going to be a big bear. But that's okay because he's going to be my bear. Pandas and polar bears are 2 of my very, very favorite bears. And so I'll definitely be keeping this one. But that's as far as I've gotten with the polar bear so far. So, whoops, I'm sorry, I've still got it attached to my skein over here, so I'm trying to keep it all together there. Alrighty, so that's what I've got going as far as my WIPS in progress. And of course, you all know that I'm working on my Sophie blanket. I get to start part 5 this week. I finished up part 4 last week. And you saw what a beautiful square that it made. Well, now, when I went from the circle and now it's into a square, now we're going to take it out of the square by blunting the corners just a little bit. So that's going to be interesting to see, and I'll show you that on Tuesday because I'll have a couple of rounds done by then. So for tomorrow, you can expect a new stitch. It probably won't be new to a lot of you, but it will be a new stitch for some of our new crocheters that are just starting out on this journey. And I'll have a little project to go with it, so I hope that you'll look for that tomorrow. On Wednesday will be my own personal amigurumis that I'm doing. Not ones that I designed now. They are ones that are totally different from the Amigurumi Wars. They're just ones that I have decided to make for family, for my little monkey project that I have going on for my fire department when they do Toys for Tots at the end of the year. I'm, working on those for donations. Thursday, I am finally ready to release a very special hat and scarf set. And you'll hear more about that whenever I release it on this coming Thursday. It is in 2 parts, and I will be doing part 1 and part 2. I'll go ahead and give you a little sneak peek here. Oh, goodness. I got stuck somehow. All right, so this is the scarf. And I hope you can see the little design in there. Has some hearts on it. Now, this is only half of the scarf. And I only did half because I wanted folks to see what it looks like. And then we will finish the other half together. And I'll show you how to put the 2 halves together. And then there will be this lovely hat that goes along with it. And as you can see, it has the little heart design there. So it's going to be a heart hat and scarf set. Like I said, it will be in 2 different parts, a part 1 and a part 2. That way, if you only want to do the hat, you can go to that part. If you only want to do the scarf, you can do it. And if you want to do both, then they'll both be 2 parts. But I will be releasing that this coming Thursday, and I'm very excited for that. And of course, Friday is the Southern Sisters Lives. Now, this last week we were supposed to be at Connie's house, but she had something come up, and so I went ahead and we just switched schedules. So this next week we will be at All Handmade Connie's house at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So be sure that you start looking for her little pop-up, that tells you to, if you want to be notified whenever she's going to come on, be looking for that. And then Saturday, we'll finish out my week with the devotional on gratitude that we are looking at all this year. So that's my lineup for the week, folks. Now, as I always tell you, please be aware that sometimes things come up and I might get just a little bit off kilter. May not be able to get everything in, but that is my layout and that is my plan for this upcoming week. So I hope you're as excited as I am to see what's coming, to see my progress on some of these projects, and most definitely for the stitch on Monday and the scarf and hat set that I'll be sharing with you on Thursday. As always, thank you so much for being here. Now, if you've stuck around this long and this is your first time here, I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen. And if you did, please, hit that subscribe button and look for the bell that has little hugs on the side. It'll always let you know when I've uploaded some content. And to those of you that are my loyal subscribers, as always, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Okay, you know what time it is. Be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. It could be your light that they need to see. Okay? I love you all, and be those bright, shining stars. See you next time. Bye.